Welcome back to the Hershey Pepper channel. Have you ever wondered why we make the decisions we do? Enter the fascinating world of Thinking Fast and Slow, a masterpiece penned by the brilliant Daniel Kahneman. This book takes us on an insightful journey into the depths of our minds, shedding light on the intriguing operations that drive our thoughts and actions. In its pages, Kahneman introduces us to two distinct systems at work within our minds. Picture the first system as the hare in Aesop's fable. Quick, intuitive, and often impulsive. It operates on gut feelings and snap judgments. Now envision the second system as the tortoise of the tale, deliberate, rational, and methodical. It's the part of us that weighs options, scrutinizes details, and makes thoughtful decisions. These two systems, working in tandem, shape our perceptions and dictate our choices. They are the unseen conductors of the symphony of our thoughts. So, are you ready? Join us as we delve into the fascinating world of our mind's inner workings. Imagine two characters living in your mind, each with a different approach to decision-making. Let's call them System 1 and System 2. They're not physical entities, of course, but rather metaphorical representations of the two cognitive processes that influence our decisions. System 1 is the spontaneous, instinctive side of your brain. It's the part that makes snap decisions, the part that leaps to conclusions without needing all the facts. It's the quick thinking, intuitive, and often emotional part of your mind. Picture yourself catching a ball that's been thrown at you. That's System 1 in action. No time for pondering, just pure instinct and immediate reaction. On the other hand, we have System 2. This is your slower, more deliberate side. It's the part of your mind that steps in when you need to solve a complex math problem or make a difficult decision. It's more logical, rational, and controlled, but it also requires more effort. Imagine yourself deliberating on which book to read next from a long list of recommendations. That's System 2 at work, carefully weighing the pros and cons before making a choice. Now, these two systems don't operate independently. They're interconnected, constantly interacting and influencing each other. For instance, when you're driving on a familiar route, System 1 takes the wheel, so to speak. But when you encounter a detour or a complex traffic situation, System 2 steps in to navigate. While these systems often work together, they sometimes come into conflict, leading to irrational decisions. This happens when System 1 jumps to conclusions without considering all the facts, or when System 2 gets overwhelmed with too much information. It's a delicate balance, and understanding how these two systems operate can help us make better decisions in our lives. So the next time you're about to make a decision, ask yourself, is it System 1 or System 2 doing the thinking? Have you ever trusted your gut feeling, only to find out it was wrong? This question brings us to the heart of Daniel Kahneman's concept of the illusion of validity. You see, our minds are wired in such a compelling way that we often trust our own intuition, our System 1 thinking, even when it's not the most reliable source of judgment. Picture this. You're at a crossroads, trying to make a decision. Your gut tells you to go right, but the facts, the data, the evidence, they all point to the left. But you've got this compelling feeling, this conviction that right is the way to go. So you trust your gut, you go right, and bam, you hit a roadblock. This, my friends, is the illusion of validity in action. This illusion of validity is a cognitive bias that leads us to believe in our intuitive judgments, even when they are flawed. It's like a mirage in the desert. From a distance, it looks like a beautiful oasis. But as we get closer, we realize it's just an illusion. We all fall victim to this illusion from time to time, and it can lead to poor decisions. But here's the good news. Recognizing this illusion is the first step towards making better decisions. Understanding that our gut feelings aren't always right allows us to question, to challenge, and to ultimately make choices based on more than just a hunch. Recognizing this illusion is the first step towards making better decisions. Why do we often overestimate our abilities and fear losses more than we value gains? In the fascinating world of our minds, there exist two cognitive biases that often lead us down the path of irrational decisions: overconfidence and loss aversion. Let's take a journey through these intriguing concepts. Overconfidence is like a sly fox, whispering sweet nothings in our ears. It's that voice that tells us we're better, smarter, more capable than we actually are. We've all been there, haven't we? It's that feeling when you've read a book and believe you've become an overnight expert, or when you predict a future event with unshakable certainty, only to be proven wrong later. Overconfidence can be a dangerous game, often leading us to underestimate risks and overestimate our ability to control situations. Now let's shift gears to the concept of loss aversion. Imagine you're given two choices, a sure gain of $50 or a 50-50 chance to win $100 or lose nothing. Most people, it turns out, would choose the sure gain. We humans are wired to feel the sting of loss more acutely than the joy of gain. We'd rather avoid losing $20 than find the same amount. This bias, known as loss aversion, can lead us to make decisions that may not be in our best interest. These biases, overconfidence and loss aversion, are like invisible puppeteers, pulling the strings of our decision-making process. They can lead us to make choices that may seem rational in the moment, but upon closer inspection are far from it. For instance, overconfidence might lead a person to invest heavily in a risky venture, while loss aversion might prevent someone from making a potentially profitable investment. Understanding these biases can help us make more rational and balanced decisions. By acknowledging the influence of these biases, we can begin to see the world and our choices in a more balanced light. We can start to make decisions not based on irrational fears or overblown confidence, but on a more measured understanding of the situation at hand. Did you know that the first information we receive can heavily influence our decision-making process? Welcome to the world of the anchoring effect, a cognitive bias that Daniel Kahneman introduces us to in his book, Thinking Fast and Slow. This is a psychological trick our minds play on us, where an initial piece of information is used as a reference point for all decisions that follow. Let's say you're at a bookstore, you see a book priced at $50, but then you find it on sale for $30. You're more likely to buy it because you perceive it as a bargain, right? That's the anchoring effect at work. Your decision was influenced by that initial $50 price tag. Or imagine you're at an auction. The auctioneer starts the bidding at a high price. Even if it's more than you plan to spend, that starting price becomes your anchor, and you adjust your bidding around it. The anchoring effect can even influence our everyday decisions, like how much to tip at a restaurant or how much to offer when negotiating a salary. We tend to anchor our decisions on the first piece of information we receive, whether it's the suggested tip on a bill or the initial salary offer. But here's the kicker. Being aware of the anchoring effect is the first step towards overcoming it. By recognizing this bias, we can strive to make more objective decisions, not just influenced by that initial anchor. By being aware of the anchoring effect, we can strive to make more objective decisions. So, what can we learn from Kahneman's exploration of our thinking processes? From the vast expanse of insights in Thinking Fast and Slow, several key takeaways emerge. This book is more than just a dive into the human mind. It's an invitation to understand our cognitive biases and the dual systems that govern our thoughts and actions. The first of these systems, System 1, operates automatically and quickly, with little or no effort. It's our instinctive gut reaction system that helps us make snap decisions. System 2, on the other hand, is slow and deliberate, requiring conscious effort. It's our analytical system, the one we use when we're pondering a complex problem or making a difficult decision. Understanding these two systems is vital because they shape how we perceive and interact with the world. They also have their strengths and weaknesses. System 1 can lead us to make hasty, ill-considered decisions, while System 2 can make us overthink and become paralyzed with indecision. The book also emphasizes the importance of recognizing our cognitive biases. These biases, like overconfidence and loss aversion, can distort our judgment and lead us astray. Overconfidence can make us underestimate risks or overestimate our abilities. Loss aversion, the tendency to prefer avoiding losses to acquiring equivalent gains, can make us overly cautious and prevent us from taking necessary risks. The anchoring effect is another cognitive bias that Kahneman highlights. This is our tendency to rely too heavily on the first piece of information we encounter when making decisions, which can skew our judgment. But this isn't a doom and gloom scenario. Understanding our cognitive biases and recognizing when our two systems are at work is the first step towards thinking better. It's about learning to navigate the labyrinth of our minds, to question our instincts, to slow down when necessary, and to be aware of the biases that can cloud our judgment. As Kahneman shows us, by understanding how we think, we can learn to think better. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did creating it. Before you go, I want to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude for your support. Creating content for you is my passion, and your likes, comments, and shares mean the world to me. They motivate me to keep delivering the content you love. So if you found this video helpful, entertaining, or inspiring, Please consider doing these 3 simple but incredibly meaningful things. Subscribe, hit that red subscribe button below, and join our incredible community. Subscribing is your passport to never miss out on the latest updates and exciting content from this channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. It not only lets me know that you liked it, but also helps others discover this content. Share. If you think this video could help someone you know, don't hesitate to share it with your friends, family, or on your social media. Sharing is caring, and it helps our community grow.